Happy Wednesday, everybody. Thank you for coming back to No Remorph. We've got an absolute banger in, what do we want to call it, in the chamber tonight? Should we put it in the chamber?
Yep,
I'm trying to get like all, yeah, I'm trying to get all like all up to date and everything on the slang terms and all of that. We had a lot of scene swaps. Hopefully everybody can hear. Big thumbs up or maybe ones in the chat if everything looks good, sounds good. We swapped out cameras, we've moved things around, we've done a lot of adjustment here right before the show, so hopefully everything's coming across right and as it should, but we've got a lot of the typical names out there in the chat. I see a lot of the same faces. I know those numbers are just going to get weirder and weirder. Please, guys, when you pop in, hit the like, hit the sub if you haven't already. I don't know, I think most of who comes in now is already subbed, but tell your kids, tell your grandkids, tell your aunt, tell your uncle, send them over to your cousins, but I think we do a pretty good job of the show, and I'd like to see that number tick over that next milestone. We're working there. We're not going to mention numbers or where we're at, but just keep sending people in. It takes 2 seconds. It doesn't cost them anything to hit that sub button, and we definitely appreciate it. Speaking of people we appreciate, we've got them on tonight. We've got the affiliate of the week. This week is Mission Morphs, John, Bridget, Chance down there in Texas. Fantastic outfit. Jamie and I were talking about it before the show, and it's like, you know, it's rare to find anymore people that are going to do exactly what they say they're going to do. And it doesn't matter if it's on purpose or not, but they make a very big point of doing exactly what they say they're going to do at Mission Morphs. And John is a stickler on that. Mm-hmm. And I, for one, appreciate that. It's getting to be a rarity anymore where things go in one ear, out the other. People forget. We get sidetracked. Doesn't happen with John. I don't know where that goes in his vault, but if he said it, he's doing it 100%, and he's proven it 1,000 times with us. But love that family group down there, and they are the affiliate of the week, guys. Can't say enough good about them. They've got some really nice projects going, too. They've got the Exantic Clown stuff. They've got Monsoon stuff coming around the corner.
Hoggies.
The hoggies.
Yes, hognose,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. Tri-stripe combos too. I know that Chance is working the tri-stripe stuff on his side of it down there. So fantastic group. We're going to put them up here real quick because that's just what we want to do. Affiliate of the week, guys. Again, you know about the Forge Coin. This is something we do through a lot of different breeders. Now we're up in the 34, 35 mark of different breeders out there that throw into the Forge Coin pot. If you got Forge Coin, you know what that's about. If you don't, try to get some Forge Coin, because any of these breeders, any of these affiliates will take Forge Coin direct for shirts, hats, merch, snakes. Each one of them has kind of opened everything up. If they've got something you want and you want to spend Forge Coin on it, they're going to accept that. And this week it's Mission Morphs, and we appreciate them. They are going to match the $10 that we normally throw in every week, guys, on the trivia. Somewhere in this show, Jamie is going to pick out some trivia from something Mark says, something I say, whatever. Maybe something coming out of the chat, but you get that. You get $20 in your Forge Coin account, and we've got a little bonus after that. So they threw in something extra that we're going to kind of filter a little bit. It's outside of the Forge Coin, but it's still a really nice giveaway and an opportunity for somebody. So hang in there, guys. We'll reveal that right at the end, but we've got literally one of the top tier guests out there, and somebody that I would consider at least an industry legend. He's been around forever. He's produced nothing but fantastic animals, and he's putting out an ethic that I think has lost a lot in the community. And it's look at what you're producing, pay attention to it, and make sure that what you're putting out there is what you want people to see you as. I think there's a huge missing section of that going on, and I think the people that do that well are successful, and the people that don't are maybe having a little bit of a tougher time with it, you know, and it's important, and I'd like to get a little bit of insight on that too from Mark tonight. So Markus Jayne, been around forever. There's a lot of stuff in the chats on the different lives and things lately. Mark has been kind enough to jump on a ton of different lives lately, and I won't say defend one of his genes, Scrambler, or one of the things he isolated, but to at least talk about it and say, this is a thing, whether you think so or not. I think it's immediately obvious. Does it have to be a gene on a test sheet somewhere? Do they have to have that available for you to see what's there and the value of that in your project. Not for me. I can look at something somebody's saying as a combination and something with scrambler and without, and I want the one with it every time. Yeah. I don't care what is doing that. I want it. I want to work with it, and I think that's the important part of this. So we're not going to beat Scrambler up tonight. I have questions on some of the other things he's done, the MJ Xanthic, the Java, the Jaguar, things that are out there floating around that need to be more involved in projects because they're really crucial genes in my mind. So appreciate him for coming out. We're going to say hi to everybody in the chat real quick, and then we're going to hit commercials because we're going to get to Mark as quick as possible tonight. So Ken, LMK, appreciate you, sir. The RWO crew over there. Always swinging in and supporting. That's awesome. Mike Snyder, good to see you, man. Appreciate you swinging out, too. Looks like a lot of the common names we're seeing all the time. G-Paw, we got Greg down there. Appreciate them. That's another affiliate, guys. So Rivens Forge, appreciate you. Oh, we got Mom and Dad in tonight, too. That's a surprise, right? Seem to be here every week, but appreciate you guys back-to-back swinging out. And they're just watching their kids. You know, we're in our 50s, and we're still their kids. They don't care how old we get, but they're going to come out and watch. Ashley, Catalina, appreciate you. Going to give the heart out that way. Got DDM, another group, fantastic group local to us. We got Dustin and Melissa, and you got Derek, and is it Rachel?
Yeah.
Rachel, too, right? Okay. Dwight the Pied Man, every week, sending out the fantastic tunes into the Instagram, keeping the workday going. Appreciate him. Tara, Voodoo Dolls, appreciate you. Thanks for swinging out. We got Vance, Brother Vance, another affiliate out there on the West Coast in California. Appreciate Vance for sure. Blue Zombie Morphs. 2 shows every week, guys. Got the Friday night Gene Wars, and you got the Saturday Thunderdome, so check those out. Sammy, your girl is in nest mode right now. She should be dropping some of the Scrambler Pied combos coming this year, so appreciate you, Sammy. Another fantastic affiliate. Brave, BA Smoothie out there on the West Coast. I'm sure he's going to tell us about the smoothies he's had in a couple days. Kike, appreciate you, sir. Hope everything is well. Appreciate all of the social media you're doing lately with your daily routine, keeping things going. Kiko, one of the newest in the affiliate group, runs a fantastic weekly expo, smaller expo, but right out of a brewery with plants and animals and things every week. So check out Kiko. Appreciate him. Logan, good to see you, sir. One of the OGs in the let's just get a bunch of people and talk online groups right there. There's our Forge affiliate of the week. John, family, hope you are all well. Appreciate the donations this week. We're going to make those worthwhile for you. Ella, appreciate her too. She's all the way down south there she is in Texas now too, right?
Yep.
Okay. Man, I keep getting that messed up because I want to say Louisiana every time, but yeah. I know that's wrong. So appreciate her swinging out. Jamie, thanks for swinging out, man. I know you were hyped for this one. You mentioned in a couple different chats. Can't wait to see this show tonight, so appreciate you. Jason Opelt, old family friend. Thank you, sir. Thanks for swinging in. Rippin' Reptiles. They just had a really nice clutch tonight. Did a Clown Mojave, Red Stripe. There was a couple other things in there, some head hypo stuff going on. Really nice clutch they hatched tonight, so congrats, guys. Ramry's Royals. Another affiliate swinging in. Appreciate you guys. Stopping in before bed. He's on the bedtime schedule. Like right. A lot of those East Coast time people. Join David. Good to see you, sir. Thanks for swinging out. Appreciate you. 100% good to see all these faces in here. Mitzi. Mm-hmm. We'll be looking for the hot seat entry emojis, Mitzi, in a bit here. We're going to always wait until we see those from you. And then Mark agreed he's going to tolerate the hot seat tonight and sit with Jamie for some rapid fire questions.
It'll
Nikki,
be a good
to
time.
see you. Nikki and Kurt.
Yep.
Aurora, good to see you in the house too. Man, we got a lot of people out there tonight. It's going to be a fun one, guys. Are we missing anybody? The only one I see is maybe I see Yes. Well,
did you get Big Mike?
He's out there, right? Got Big Mike, yep. And I think that's probably it, except All City. We've got Be Easy, James out there. I know we missed him, so. Oh, Spicy Mike, too. All right. We've stalled enough, guys. Let's put it in there. Thank you, everybody, for swinging out. We're going to get to Mark ASAP. We are going to run a couple quick commercials, and we'll be right back with him. Thank you again for swinging in. And let's see what we can hit. Let's do... Man, here it is. I should have this down, guys.
Hey folks, here at The Forge we prioritize promoting people from the community, especially where we see opportunity to share some valuable insights or products with our followers. That is why we are thrilled to have BNS Reptilia as a sponsor. Chris is a fantastic example of bringing value to the community, with years of experience keeping a variety of animals from ball pythons and blood pythons to boas or colubrids and more. Chris brings a wide breadth of knowledge and a collection of beautiful animals. Chris also carries Coco2go and The Chipper, two of the highest quality reptile bedding products on the market. If you want to learn more about any of these species, are looking to add to your collection, or in need of some top-notch substrate, please don't hesitate to reach out to Chris at BNS Reptilia. Chris is also a member of a growing community of breeders who accept Forge Coin, so don't forget to show them your Forge Coin.
Listen, everybody says they support disabled veterans, until it's time to actually do something. Last year, through Operation Deeds Not Words, the Fat Man Nation with Green Line Morphs raised $7,200 for disabled veterans and first responders through Camp Freedom. And it proved something important. When this community actually pulls together, we can make a real difference. So this year we're doing it again with Operation Deeds Not Words 2. And our goal this year is $10,000. Same mission, same attitude, just bigger. Camp Freedom provides outdoor adventures like hunting and fishing and just time back in nature for disabled veterans and first responders. Getting them out of clinical settings and getting them back to what really matters in life again. If you want to help us reach that $10,000 goal this year, then head on over to thefatmannation.com and pick yourself up an Operation Deeds Not Words t-shirt or a beanie. Because talking about helping people is easy. Actually doing something about it is what this campaign is all about.
Deeds not words.
100%, Chris. Yeah, deeds not words, guys. And they will take Forge Coin as well. So if you're sitting on a pile of Forge Coin, don't know where to send it for one of the affiliates, Deeds Not Words is a great place to send that. We'll transfer it straight over to Chris and Cash, and they'll be able to get those veterans and first responders back out to doing things they want to do. So
Yeah.
fantastic program. I hope they hit their goal. I haven't heard any updates recently, where they're sitting there. But I'm sure they're very, very close because it was pretty early on. They were at the halfway mark. That doesn't mean take the foot off the gas, guys. That means stomp the gas. Let's get it up to maybe double what they can get. It's a fantastic cause. So without further ado, Jamie, are you all set to head backstage, filter some comments, questions, things like that from the audience? Guys, if you have those for us, as we're going through here, we will try to hit those. We're not going to interrupt or do anything weird that way, but if it pertains to what we're on, we're definitely going to let those questions come through and ask. So trivia coming up, Jamie. Hot seat coming up, Jamie. Good luck with both of those. We'll see you in just a few, and I'm more than sure Mark is like, can we get on with this guy? So
let's do it.
Let's bring him out on the stage. Jamie, we'll see you in a little bit. Thanks for everything you do back there. All right, and guest of honor tonight, Mr. Mark Mandic. Appreciate you, sir. Thank you for swinging out. Hopefully everything is well tonight.
Yeah, no, it's good. Now that I've got my mic turned on, it's even better.
Everything is better with the mic on.
Yeah, it's technical difficulties.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
You look and sound great, so that's a plus.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Sound is perfect. As usual, video is perfect, and I can't state enough how much I love like the backdrops and how much effort and work and things go into looking fantastic. Like, is this a gradual thing, Mark, or is this like what you've settled on over iteration after iteration with what you're sitting in right now?
Uh, well, I guess I've been tweaking it along the way. I mean, I've got my bigger logo there. Whereas before I had 2 logos and 2 pictures, but I think that's my real logo, the shape of my logo. That's what people are used to seeing. I actually have another studio upstairs that's in my kitchen that I'm hoping to do something in that is more of a sit on a couch and have a conversation whenever I have anybody here, that we can do a quick interview and whatever, and maybe throw some food in as well. Because I don't know if you know, I love to eat. No, I cook. I love to cook, and I do love to eat. But so that's a real passion of mine.
I say culinary is a big thing. I do have a little section of questions on in particular because I know that's one of your things, and we'll definitely get to that. I know that that's a big driver in the things you do.
Yeah.
But you kind of mentioned these studio settings. Are you looking to do podcasting? Are you looking to get that rolling on your side?
Yeah, I would. I really would. It's it's getting everything set up properly, the proper cameras, and do I use iPhones? Do I use a better camera? As a main camera, I've got to do more research on that. I mean, the sets are done. The lighting is done. It looks fantastic. So it's just, cameras. I've got 2 cameras here tonight. I've got a iPhone 14 Pro Max, and I've got a Canon M50 that'll be over here. Why am I not seeing it? Hold on.
Oh, I don't know. I assume this is the...
There we go. Right here.
Yeah.
You can. Yeah. So you can see my hand there.
Yep.
I'm gonna do some hand modeling.
Can't wait.
Everybody, that's the #1 request I get. Will you model your hands?
Yes. Preferably by one of your
Holding a
production
snake.
Animals.
Holding a snake. Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
your deal there over your right hand side, is that structural? That's not just a flat background, right? Over your right.
No, that's all sound baffling
Okay.
tile.
Okay.
So they're 1 foot by 1 foot sound baffling tiles. But when the light shines on it, it kind of looks scaly,
Yeah, very
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought, hey,
Absolutely. And it's hard to know, right?
yeah.
Did we lose audio?
No, we got him.
No?
No, I just lagged on my side. We must be having internet issues here. But
Okay.
yeah, it's hard to know. Like, is that a background or is this an actual corner?
Oh,
the
that's
room
an actual
structured this
corner.
way?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this room is actually my wife's office, which is kind of in the front to the right. And then right here is the studio. This used to be a room where I started editing videos. I used to be a video editor at a TV station, and I started doing it at home. I bought my own equipment, started doing it at home, really had a lot of fun doing it. And it was a video that I made that eventually got me a job at a TV station. And so this is where I used to edit videos. And then I turned it into a hognose room. This had, I don't know, 4 racks in it for hognose. And I bred hognose for a while, and then I didn't.
Okay.
I like dabbling in different things. But, yeah, so and then it sat empty. And I thought, what can I do with it? And I had this vision, and here it is.
Well, it's a
Very
great
nice.
vision.
Yeah.
So that was going to be kind of part of the opener. We always like to get background, and there's going to be a ton of people in chat that are familiar with you, Mark. They've seen you on different interviews and things, but we have a lot of friends, family, new people to the hobby that
Okay.
are just coming in.
Right.
What kind of started you into this? And this is like 2000, was it roughly?
Yeah, actually, 1999, December of 1999, I bought my first ball pythons. And I started looking into them because my daughter really wanted a pet reptile. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. But growing up, where we grew up, well, I grew up for 5 years in Australia, and we all know about Australian snakes. But
Yeah.
then where I grew up in Canada, we backed onto a ravine, and there were tons of snakes down there that we used to go hunting for. And I mean, we'd spend the whole day hiking and looking at snakes. So, but then, when I became a teenager and discovered girls, snakes weren't important to me anymore. And so I got away from that because I was living in an area where there really weren't snakes, and we had moved. And then I moved to the country up here, and my daughter wanted a pet reptile because my other two kids had hamsters. She wanted something different, and she wanted a pet reptile. So I do a ton of research on stuff. I find it very interesting. Even if you don't get into it, it's interesting information, right? So
Yeah.
there was a local pet store that did fish and reptiles of all things. And I went in there and I said, okay, what would be the best reptile to buy? And I'm thinking some kind of a lizard. And they went, oh, definitely a ball python. I went, really? And they said, yeah. And I said, do you have any? They said, we don't have any for sale, but we have one on display. And I said, well, can I see it? And they brought it out, and they said, do you want to hold it? And I'm looking at this, and it was probably a 2-year-old snake, And they put it into my hand, and it was almost like, rays of light was beaming out. It's like Raiders of the Lost Ark when he got found the Lost Ark. And it was like, oh, my God, this is amazing. And I went home and I said, I saw the snake, it's a ball python and this and that. And my daughter's like, yeah, but I said, no, you're getting a ball python. And I'm paying for it, you're getting it. Well, finding a ball python was another story. So, I said to the store owner, I said, when can you get me? Oh, he says, I don't know when we can get another one in here. It's not hatchling season. It's da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, well, let me know when you have one, and I will come in and buy it. He said, all right. So I started doing research, and I'm looking, and I'm phoning up American breeders. Little breeders like Nerd, Kevin McCurley.
Yeah.
Just little guys.
Yeah, little guys. And I'm like, hey, Kevin, I want to buy a ball python. He says, great, where are you? Canada. Yeah, I'm not shipping anything up to Canada. And I'm like, well, yeah, but I'm willing to spend $150, sort of thing, because that's what they were going for, I guess, for normals back then. And he's like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. And so I got pretty frustrated, and there was a newspaper. I don't know if you remember, in newspapers they had classified sections.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There was really not a lot of internet back then. There was some, but finding stuff was difficult. And I don't know what happened, but I found an ad for ball pythons, and it was literally 20 minutes up the road from me, the next town.
Wow.
And I thought, well, this is meant to be. And so I got on the phone, actually called them, and I said, okay, I can be there in 20 minutes. They said, all right, yeah, come on up. I ended up buying 2 snakes, normals, and named them Ghana and Togo. really original names, right? And
Right, straight out of Africa, right?
I mean, used my brain for those. Anyways, got him home, and I said to my daughter, "Here you go. Here's your snake, and this one's mine." And I did the right thing. I bought an aquarium that was 6 feet long, and like this big, and I put this little hatchling in there because I knew exactly what I was doing. And I stared at this snake, and my wife and I just sat in front of it, and we stared at going around. And basically, the snake, is looking around, and it's like, what the
Somewhere
fuck?
to hide.
Like,
Yeah.
where
can I
am
hide?
I? What am I doing? And I'm like, dude, I've set you up. Like, you thought you were going to get a little, I've set you up in a mansion here. Well, that was a learning curve, but I really got the bug. I went back the next day, bought 2 more from them.
Are you able to say, Mark, who this was, or is this someone that's no longer around?
Nobody know. Teresa Wittig was her name.
Okay.
I don't even know if they had a company name. I'm sure they did. I forget.
Gotcha.
And
I was just curious if it was somebody that's still kicking around that somebody would recognize. Okay.
No, not at all. And so, anyways, I was convinced that these were going to be the next great pet. Okay? I was convinced, and I was telling all my friends, hey, you're going to own one of these one day because they're irresistible. Well, little did I know that a lot of people don't find them irresistible. I did.
Right.
But anyway, they... come to think of it, none of my friends ever got a ball python from me, but that's okay. They're no longer my friends. So from there, I looked at morphs. Like, holy smokes, there's these other looking ball pythons that look way better than normals. And the one that caught my eye was a pastel jungle. Because there were no orange snakes then.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Right.
I mean, you could argue that piebald, but piebald were so expensive, 25,000 US sort of thing.
Right.
And were they really that orange compared to today? No. So I like the yellows and the blacks. And the man, why not go to the source? I went to Greg Graziani and contacted him and said, hey, I want to buy a male. And he says, well, hopefully I produce some this year because I haven't had any clutches yet. And Greg and I became great friends. And that year he didn't produce 1 clutch of eggs from all his females. So he was in a situation where he had to sell some older animals. So I ended up buying, I think it was 13 or 14 normal breeder females and the male from the very first clutch of pastels ever produced. Wow. That was a proven breeder, and that was how I got started. And so I got them, I'm going to say in 2001, finally took delivery of them. And because getting CITES back then was like a 6-month process.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I got the animals, started breeding, and produced my first clutches in 2002, and the rest is history. I've bought a few more snakes since then.
Yeah, right.
So it was basically completely different than a lot of things we hear. I mean, it was like a love at first sight thing. Yeah. Like you walked in, saw this ball python, and went, wow, I need a bunch of these. I need, in fact, as many of these as I can get.
It was, it was a time, yeah, pretty much. It was a time when, Steve Irwin was very, very popular. And, I grew up watching Wild Kingdom or Animal Kingdom and, with Marlon Perkins and, all
wrestling
those.
The bear.
Yeah. And the snakes.
Yeah.
And... but then Steve Irwin came along, and he made reptiles very cool. Mm-hmm. And I thought, kids are going to grow up wanting reptiles, not dogs and not cats, and definitely not horses, because I've been down that road and it ain't cheap. And I thought this could be a new thing. The other thing I liked about them was you don't have to walk them. They don't wake you up. They don't make a sound. And if you need to leave for a week and go on vacation, you can do it as long as they got water, right? Or you can have
Absolutely.
somebody come in and give them water or freshen up the water or whatever. They're easy. You don't have to take them to kennels and spend hundreds of dollars. And I thought this could be a new thing, and especially in countries like Japan and in Europe, where housing
Right.
is
Don't
much
have the
smaller
room.
but they don't
Yeah.
have the room. And if they live in an apartment, they don't want something that's going to make a lot of noise. So I thought
Or destroy the apartment, right?
or destroy the apartment. Yeah, absolutely. And look, I'm an animal lover. We got dogs. We've had cats. Owned a lot of horses. But this was very intriguing to me, and I thought this is an opportunity to sell an animal that is truly unique and interesting. And I think I was right, because I've been doing this 26 years, I guess, and it's the longest I've ever done anything in my life,
Yeah.
right?
including
Which is
being married.
it's
Which
funny.
speaks to the title. I mean, that the title is
Yeah.
Perseverance. Jay, go
Yeah.
ahead. But I mean, that's why. This is a long-term thing for the right person, and it isn't about instant money. It isn't about investment and return.
No,
It's about,
no.
do you enjoy this or don't you, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So
Well, first off, you have to have a true passion for the animal.
Yeah.
You can't look at it as a dollar sign. You can't look at it and go, oh, I could sell these for. You got to really, really love the animal. If you don't love the animal, you're not going to be successful. You'll be somewhat
100%.
successful, but it won't last long.
Yep.
right.
Yeah, it's funny you talked about seeing that this was going to be like the new thing for kids, the pet that kids were going to want, kind of moving away from the mammals to the reptiles, and we have talked about that ourselves. And obviously, like you said, you were right to an extent, but we really need to get that to proliferate more and get more people involved and just introduced to the animals, because the percentage we've talked about, the percentage of people out there that really have even seen ball pythons or handled them, or any reptile for that matter, is still pretty small. I mean, it's really small.
Well, I would go as far as saying that I believe, some of the snakes that I've got here tonight and some of the snakes that we see, being shown out there today, I would say that 99% of the population on the planet has never laid eyes on it.
Yeah.
For sure. Yes.
Okay, like
agree with that.
they've seen a normal ball python,
Right. Yep.
but they've not seen the other stuff. And it was interesting. I'm kind of, I don't want to say I'm switching gears, but I'm adjusting speed and maybe moving to another lane. And that lane is, I believe that this industry is moving more towards a pet trade market than it is a breeder market.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing, because it will get more people involved. And I did a show a few weeks ago. I don't do many shows, and I did this show. My wife was away in Mexico, and I thought, well, I got nothing better to do. I'm going to do this show. And Jared and Crystal Crabtree from Gecko Diva and VIP Morphs helped me out, and we all were in line at the show. So what I noticed was the amount of pet interest, the amount of people that had never seen these snakes before, because Grant Crossman, who runs these shows up here, they're all either reptile and plant are the one-day shows, and then the two-day shows are reptiles, plants, birds, fish, cats,
Yeah.
dogs. I mean, guinea pig. I
name
mean, you name it, it's there. And the
Yeah.
amount of people that come out, and what it does is you could be a cat person and you had no idea, of these snakes, and they come by, and if you put up a nice enough display, they're awestruck.
Yeah.
They really are, and
Yep.
I sold a lot of pet snakes at this show a few weeks ago. So I'm very encouraged by all that. And what we have to do is really focus on looks, because that's what stops people in their tracks, is a good looking unique snake, because everybody wants something that's nobody else has.
Yeah.
And these snakes are like snowflakes. There's no two alike, right?
Yeah.
100%, 100%. And that's kind of what we did for years, right? And when I say we, I mean breeders, is we kind of bred people out of the pet market by making them out of reach. Like, if no one is wanting to go spend $20,000 on a pet. They're going to gladly spend $1,500, $1,600,
Yeah.
$800.
Yeah,
They're going to be in that
2,000.
range.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they'll be in a really nice, comfortable range. But when you breed out of that market, you're doing a weird backward gatekeeping. You're like closing off the community rather
Yeah.
than growing it.
Absolutely. And with the equipment that's out there right now, as far as display equipment, not for shows, but at home, that you can, put a snake on display, and the lighting and the plants and the woodwork in there, whatever. It's spectacular. And look, everybody wants to impress, okay, in some way or another. And if somebody comes into your home and you go, here, come on over here, I've got a little room up, set up over here, and they walk in and they see all these terrariums or vivariums with beautiful reptiles in them, it has the potential to be a great thing. So these aren't people that we're trying to sell $20,000 animals to. But, the fact that they might own $2,000 animals is not out of question.
Right.
100%, 100%.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, and that's just it, right? It's a move I think you're consciously making, but I think
Yeah.
we're really not gonna have a choice in the end. It's basically gonna weed itself back down to that for everybody to survive. So it's the ethic we push on here all the time. Like, if you aren't doing something to grow the community, you're doing a disservice. Like, if you're really narrowing out options, it's the wrong direction to go. So 100% agree with you there.
Well,
really do.
I'm always said, if you want to be successful in business, you need to grow in the business, not go into business.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
slow and steady wins the race every time.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't
Yeah.
agree more. Well, Mark, I know that a ton of people, and you're probably tired of this conversation, but we talked about you got into ball pythons because you love them. Quickly, you went into orange, right? Like, orange was going to be your focus. Was that always a thing for you, or was that specifically just for ball pythons? Was that like a
Um,
trend through cars and through, your
no,
own
I've
design? Or
I've never owned an orange vehicle, believe it or not. And we did have orange shag carpet growing up.
right?
That's
A lot of
that's
That
people
another
was a
did.
story.
mistake.
So you would think I'd avoid that. I mean, who would have a shag? Have you ever tried to vacuum a shag carpet? I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
it's not. Yeah. Anyway, it's what caught my eye, and what really caught my eye was caramel albinos. When I eventually saw one in person, and it was that orange, and there was some thought put into orange as well, because we're a very primal people, whether we know it or not. We gravitate towards certain things that bring us comfort. And the oldest thing we remember as a civilization, from the beginning of man up until now, where we were trying to survive, and then we discovered what? Which
Fire.
changed it. fire. And orange is the primary color of fire. And that's why to this day, people can sit by a fire and just stare into that fire and be absolutely mesmerized and hypnotized or whatever by that. And it is because of the comfort that fire brings you. It brings you warmth, that you can cook with fire, you get light from fire, and orange being the principal color, I went with orange on the logo. So that was my thinking behind it.
Man, you talked us right into a
Yeah.
background and a show setup and everything here, Mark. I mean, it's kind of, we obviously feel the same. We shifted to this not terribly long ago, but a while ago, and for that exact reason. To me, it just felt warm,
Yeah.
inviting, all of the things you want to be a part of. And those aesthetics are overlooked a lot, right? So,
Well,
what
I
was the
noticed
first-
it. I know,
Oh, go ahead.
like your background there is basically, sparks from the fire and whatever. And again, yeah, it gives you, brings you comfort
Yep.
Yeah,
subliminally.
absolutely.
Hmm.
I
Sorry,
think that's
I
the
interrupted.
case. No, not at all. It's weird. We always get on these lives with people, and there is delays back and forth. So if we do it to you, it's unintentional for sure. But the orange, you talk about this, that's your aesthetic. It's because of what you talked about. What was the first couple of things you put into your snakes that were going that direction? What were the first few things you bought into and purposely produced?
Well, pastels were a bright, today they're not as bright yellow as they were back then, meaning that we thought that was bright yellow, but here, hold my beer, watch this. And then I got into albinos because I really liked the contrast between the bright yellow again and the white. Pieds, of course, because pieds, I still believe, are the rock star of the ball python industry. Primarily because as much as clowns have been very successful, and I absolutely love clowns, but if you go out on the street and you show 100 people two snakes, a clown and a piebald, I guarantee you, 80% will absolutely love the piebald.
Right.
Okay, and then I had a friend that I met in 2000. It was the very first Tinley, which is probably '03, '04 maybe, and that was Ozzy from Ozzy Boyd's. And
Those
we were
Orange Dream stuff. Yeah.
yeah, and we were sitting next to each other, and that was before he had Orange Dream, and we got talking. He couldn't decide what to order steak wise. We were having dinner. It was probably 20 of us. Brian Barczyk at the head of the table, as he always was, and he recommended a steakhouse, so we went there. And Oz is like, I don't know what to order. I don't know. And I said, get the ribeye. And if you don't order it medium rare, I'm going to punch you. And so he said, really? The ribeye? And I said, yeah, trust me on this one. And I went in all the detail about the marbling and everything. Anyway, man, that's the best steak I've ever had in my life. And we've been friends ever since. So when he came out with Orange Dream, I was like, I'm in. Like that's my color and whatever. And
Did you call him up and tell him, "Hey, Oz, that's my prime rib you got right there"? In your
Yeah.
hands?
Yeah, pretty much. It was the prime rib of snakes. And there were a lot of people, and like you talk about Scrambler, there were a lot of people that doubted the Orange Dream.
Yeah.
And he had a hard time convincing a lot of people to buy this snake. And he started producing and showing them to me and whatever. And I remember he was at Tinley, and he had just a simple booth with a table and deli cups out there full of some snakes. And he didn't have many Orange Dreams. And I bought one from him that was really, really orange. and because I had to pick of what I wanted, and then there was a guy that came by the booth, and he looked at me and he said, "Mark, he heard me talking about it because I was, telling people about this snake." And he said, "Mark, do you really think this snake is that special?" And I said, "Trust me, this is going to be a game changer." And that was Bill Brandt. And Bill Brandt was arguably the biggest breeder in the world of ball pythons. And all he was looking for was a snake that could sell at a pet level, right? He didn't want pieds, he didn't want clowns, he just wanted something that was a little brighter. And I said, "Bill, you won't go wrong with this, and I'll sell you mine for twice as what I paid for it." No, but and then I had another guy come to me that I had previously met a month earlier in Canada at the Canadian Reptile Breeders Expo. He came up from the States, and we hung out, and we kind of adopted him, and because he was new to Canada, never been to Canada before. And he came to me and he says, do you mind walking me around the show and showing me, some good snakes, because I'd like to start buying snakes, because he was breeding geckos at the time. He wanted to buy some ball pythons. So I took him around and I said, "Look, there's one snake we got to find for you. It's an orange dream." He said, "I never heard of it." I said, "You will, and you will thank me for it years later." And that was Levon Swells from Straight Fire. So he bought his first orange dream. We found one in the far aisle. And, the rest is history there. And, Levon's just bought 2 snakes from me this week. And that's the first 2 snakes he's ever bought from me since then.
He waited long enough for the payback on
He
it.
waited long enough. And you know what? But the friendship never had anything to do with, selling anybody snakes. It was just, it's nice to, be friends with people, period. You don't have to always get something out of it, right?
Super knowledgeable and a great guy. I mean, he's got tons of little nuggets of wisdom, and the way he works projects is really unique too. He keeps them kind of in the shadows, a little bit quiet, until he makes something he really wants to talk about, and then he'll put it out there, and then he'll refuse to talk about it. That's the thing that I love.
But shout out to Wesley though, because
that was our dealings with them was 100% through Wesley. I mean, she set us up, did the shipping, arranged everything, and just a fantastic couple to work with. Can't say enough good about them. So, yeah. Absolutely. Well, I know if we stall too much, Mark, and as good as these things are, if we don't see some people are going to string us up next week. They're going to find us. They know where we are. They're going to hit us up in the street. We'll get shanked or something. But
we already saw Sammy. Sammy's out there. Are you going to show some snakes?
Right.
Is that what we're here for?
Yeah.
I could show you a nice ribeye. I'll tell you,
Yes.
I talk a lot about that. But yeah, I just happen to have a few here.
Yeah, and I know you did. You went through that. Can we start and get this a little bit out of the way, because it's been so touched on lately? The scrambler stuff, do you have examples there of just one with and one without, and then we'll just put that to the side? We're believers. I think 90% of people are. It's always going to be a question, though.
Yeah, and it's interesting, the whole scrambler debate, and I love it. I love the debate. As long as people are talking, I'm good with that. And but I come from an era, because I'm an old guy. I come from an era where we used our eyes. That's all we did. Okay, now all of a sudden, in 5 years now, we've had all these tests coming out or whatever, and it's like, well, if you don't have a test, it's not. Well, look at all the morphs that we ID'd. The subtle ones, yellow bellies. Okay, for example, and
100%.
Orange Dream. Orange Dream, okay?
Yeah.
Without shed tests, and we named them, and I mean, my Java gene doesn't have a test. Nobody's ever argued about that
I
one.
am
There's
excited
only
about that one.
yeah, the
But
Java. There's only tests
yeah,
for like 20% maybe.
Yeah,
20% of all the
yeah.
morphs is all they can test for right now. So
Well, and I am actively collecting sheds. The difficult part I had was I was submitting sheds, but they were like 5 gene animals.
yeah.
Okay.
right.
And if you don't have tests for those other genes, how do you know,
Exactly.
right?
Yep.
And so I had to backtrack. And it's not like I'm going to go, you know what? I think I'm just going to breed a bunch of normal females, to,
Yeah, at
right?
some
Because
point,
A,
yeah,
I don't have normal females.
Right.
B, if I'm going to be producing snakes, I want to produce better than I have produced.
Right.
So,
What are you going to do with that offspring other than go, yep, that's what it was? Then
yeah,
what do you do with them?
yeah.
yeah,
So I did this year breed an Orange Dream Scrambler Pied to a Calico double-headed xanthic pied. So the Calico had it's a typical scrambler, typical Calico, no scrambler. And I wanted to get maybe a visual scrambler and, a scrambler pied. That's it, no Orange Dream, because the debate is that, it's attached to Orange Dream. Well, I have scramblers without Orange Dream,
Right.
but it's hard to produce because 80% of the stuff I'm breeding has Orange Dream in it because, I don't know,
Yeah.
my logo's orange. That's what I'm going for, right?
right,
I'm
right, yeah,
sorry. I'm sorry, going for the orange. So,
yeah.
anyways, I had a clutch, and I said this to you earlier. I wish I could have showed it to you, but I can't because they just started eating and they ate today. And I'm
Right.
not going to, put them out on this table and spin them around and have them regurge, and then I'm in trouble. But
Right.
in it is an axanthic pied scrambler, I think Orange Dream. I've got a scrambler pied. I believe I'll have a scrambler. I got a scrambler axanthic, and I think I got a normal in there to show the difference between. So when they maybe we can do a follow-up show. I know I'm doing one with Jared in a while. And I'm hoping to showcase them there because they'll be a little bit older, but I'd be happy to come back on, for a part 2 on your show and show them. But,
Awesome.
just so you know, I have a lot of Orange Dreams. So what I'm going to show you now, just make
And
sure
here we'll
this-
swap over too to get this a little more audience friendly.
Yeah.
Okay. And okay, so the frame around there, I apologize, but apparently this camera, that's its autofocusing and that won't disappear. So that's an
that's
effect
fine.
I
It looks
put in there
fantastic.
intentionally. So that is a pied. It's an Orange Dream, Super Orange Dream, I believe yellow belly pied. And you can see here how this is a typical pied marking. Yes, it has yellow belly in it, but it still has maintained pretty much. If you take away the high orange or whatever and the yellow belly, it would look like a pied would look like that. Do you agree?
I
Yeah.
do, and I see the Super OD really reducing the pattern in there
Yeah.
too. And I see a lot of Super ODs out there that are just one copy, and it's pretty obvious because the Super always just flushes out those pattern lines.
Right, right. Okay, so now here's a Super OD scrambler pied.
How same animal.
I can't tell them apart.
No, I mean they're almost identical.
Yeah,
Almost.
same animal. I don't know what you're
Hey,
talking
you
about.
guys are from northern United States. You get sarcasm. A lot of people probably don't. But yeah, we're being very sarcastic. But I mean, there's your difference. Now, the only difference is this one does not have yellow belly, and this one does not have scrambler.
Right. Yeah. That's
Yep.
night and day. Yeah, absolute night and day.
Yeah. This one's going to the States on Tuesday, leaving for the States on Tuesday.
Oh.
Benji laughed at you for putting it on top of the other one, by the way.
Well, this is a family show, so I took him off.
Right. No.
So yeah,
that's-
so there's an example that, I mean, come on.
Yeah,
right?
no, there's just no comparison. And Mark, we know this. We have animals from you. We've seen enough different productions from different people, not just you, that you cannot compare the two. And I don't care how many super OD, high OD combos you make, they never look like a scrambler combo. They just don't.
Okay. So this is a Java Super Orange Dream, I believe Super Scrambler. It's also double het lavender piebald. In the Java in lavender is unbelievable.
That is doing a ton of work. If the Java's keeping all of that darkness in there, my
Yeah.
lord.
Yeah.
That thing's beautiful.
Like that, you combine the Super OD and Super Scrambler, that thing should be pretty washed, but holy cow is Java hanging on there.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. For sure.
Wow.
Really, one of my
that's-
favorite snakes this year, and that's not pied; it's het pied. But you see
But amazing.
you see the tail, how the tail, it kind of,
Just blows apart.
Yeah.
Changes direction completely back there.
it's like you're blowing smoke on it.
It's really cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a very nice animal. God, I love Java. And that's one of the ones I do want to talk about tonight because we bought into that as an early adopter. I saw a few and went, I definitely want that.
So this is a
it's a leopard?
Cypress Fire Leopard Orange Dream Scrambler Het Clown male.
Wow. That's like a quadra stripe.
Yeah, no kidding, huh? Yeah, it's what it does, the Scrambler, what it does in leopard is it does these perfect stripes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and tri-stripe, I guess if you look at the stripes as the yellow, that's a very tri-stripe looking animal, but that's almost like a quadra stripe.
Yeah.
It's
I'd like
holding
to see
that fourth line,
I'd like to see the exact same combo without the fire, just to see what's happening there. Maybe below
Right.
that last stripe.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it minus fire for sure.
I'll get on
Wow,
that.
that's beautiful. I'll get on that. He says, yeah, let me go backwards a little bit like they want me to do for scrambler tests.
And now this is, you mentioned axanthic. I thought I'd pop an axanthic in there. Now this is just an axanthic black pastel Mojave het pied.
Okay. And Mark, I mean, while you're showing your axanthic here,
Mhm.
how did your line become separate? Was that from another line and you just got an oddity? Or how did the MJ line come out of that mess?
Okay, so I bought my first pied from Doug Beard and Janie Malson in Florida, and what happened there? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Okay, I was hearing a background sound. Okay, and so I was, breeding to produce pieds, and I think it was 2008 or 2010. Um, this head popped out of the egg because, I don't really cut eggs, and it popped out, and it was silver, and I'm like, "What's going on here?"
Mm-hmm.
And it was I believe, the first axanthic pieds ever produced. And I thought, okay, well, it's either VPI or snake keeper, and so these were like super super silver and black, and very very clean. So I bought a VPI female, a visual. I bought a snake keeper visual breeder, and
Uh-huh.
bred my male to those and didn't produce any axanthics. And so that's where it came from. So it came from that pied, and that pied was an offspring of a pied that they had bought from Pete Call. And years later, many years later, Pete started producing axanthics in his collection. And so that's basically it. It must have come in from a wild caught female.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So had
Yeah.
it and didn't know it
Yeah.
till you paired some stuff up and it just kind of popped
But
up.
Yeah.
wow, talk
Yeah.
about happenstance though, because you got the
Right.
two that you produced it from different sources, right?
Yeah.
Well, no. So I bought a pied, and that produced some females for me. So I made hets,
Oh,
and
you
then
went back to the same line.
I went
Gotcha.
back to the same line, and so
Okay.
I probably produced a male pied or whatever, or I used the father and bred the daughters, or along the line of that, and that's why they came out. And
Mm.
I called them lightning pieds because I got two of them, and lightning never hits the same spot twice, right?
Right.
And because of the colors, black, gray, and white, colors of lightning.
Sure.
And so that went from there. So yeah.
And still the best line of Xanthic going, visually
Well, I
anyway.
appreciate
So
that.
yeah, I mean we do VPI, but I still can't contest that unless you really really be particular and line breed VPI on its own for the best ones, it doesn't get close to the MJ stuff, in my opinion. So
Well, thank you. I
yeah,
agree.
that's a
Because
beautiful snake.
everybody, complains that, again, ball pythons brown out with age. Now, this is a very dark morph right here. So
Hmm.
it's not a great example as far as whites and stuff like that. But, if we ever do another show, I'll bring some more examples out. I want to show you something that's really interesting. I bought a snake from Europe a few years ago. I'm going to say 2020.
Okay.
And it was sold to me as a super inchy pastel blaze clown. And it was outstanding. It was just unbelievable. And I bought it thinking, well, Blaze is a gene. Why else would you call it a Blaze clown? Because if it was a morph name, meaning a combination of, you would call it, Thunderstruck or something like that.
Sure.
So it was just an incredible, incredible snake. And I started producing, some offspring and holding them back to breed. And I started producing some pretty crazy stuff. And I contacted the original seller, Marco Morphy. He's from the Netherlands.
Uh-huh.
And I said, hey, I'm producing some great stuff from this Blaze. And he says, well, Blaze is just a term to describe the brightness of these snakes. And I said, so it's not a gene? And he said, no. He said, the guy that came up with Blaze was the guy that founded Enchi. It was a European gene, okay? And
Yep.
I'm not convinced that he was correct. Meaning, I what it's doing to snakes is it's outrageous. And again, something has to be responsible for this brightness. So I am going to reach out. I believe it's Sweeballs from Sweden that originated it. So I'm going to ask, send some pictures and ask some questions. But this is the first time I've really shown any of it.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay. Let me switch
So
over.
his opinion on this is just polymorphism from his Enchi lines, is what he's saying.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, this is a Blaze, I think, Cypress Enchi OD.
Good Lord.
Okay, now
That looks better than DG stuff.
Yeah.
well, yeah, and it's so clean, and it almost
Holy.
now it could also be banana, in fairness, but when I look at it and I look at my other bananas, and I've produced a lot of Enchi bananas, I've produced OD bananas, I've produced Cypress bananas,
That's
and
not banana.
I'm like, yeah, so I'm gonna have it tested, but it is so crisp and clean. It looks like a better caramel, and
Yeah,
or a
yeah.
or a better ultramel.
Are we
It
seeing?
reminds me
are we
of the
s-
early desert gene.
Yeah,
That's what it reminds
exactly.
me of. The
But they
one that's not
breed.
viable, but
They
yeah.
breed because this came from a female Blaze, and
Wow.
yeah, and I'm
Are we
gonna
seeing white in there, Mark? White
no,
around all the alien heads?
yeah, the lower alien heads on the sides, yes, that's all
Yeah,
white. Yeah,
has white around it. Wow.
yeah. Now I'm gonna show you a clown version. So this is a clown banana Blaze Enchi OD, and I'm gonna say pastel, but I'm not convinced. Okay, I'm not convinced. Let me put this other guy away. But it is
Man.
so clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it just looks soft. That is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. And actually
really
the
reminds
colors it's in person it's way more yellow than it is coming
Okay.
across on camera. But I'd rather it be less than more because sometimes it looks saturated, you know what I mean?
Overdriven, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I produced 2 of these, and let me just flip it over so it does its thing. There we go.
Wow. I mean, that is super clean. It reminds me of a I don't know how to say it. It kind of looks like enhancer line versus DG, where they
Yeah.
retain more of the brights and the more saturation. Like DG tends to wash out a little saturation, in my opinion.
And the mother of this snake is bright, bright, bright canary yellow and black. Like, it's
Huh.
incredible. One of my favorite tubs to slide open and go, okay, wow.
Yeah.
It's nice to
Well,
have
there you go,
those.
using your eyes again, Mark. Damn
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm not claiming it is a gene. I don't want anybody, but now here's one that, okay, think of what a Cypress Enchi Orange Dream should look like. Okay?
Sure.
Cypress
I can
Enchi.
picture that.
You can picture that. Good.
Yeah, I've seen that combo. Sure. Yep. Okay. Well, it didn't look like that. And that's, oof, man. Yeah, that is just really nice. And the thing that's nice is that it gets all of that brightness, but the contrast doesn't go away.
Yeah.
And the pattern, it's definitely there's a pattern thing going on there as well, because I have another clutch of Blaze stuff, and it does not look like anything else, because if it's a super pastel fire, let's say, it does
Mm-hmm.
not look like a super pastel fire. It's
So
very, very different.
that was one of the things I was gonna kind of mention is like Enchi and OD tend to really blow pattern out, but this almost wants to kind of normalize to a
Yeah,
degree.
yeah,
You know what I mean? I mean, the Cypress maybe would attribute to that a touch, but Enchi OD tends to want to stretch everything and kind of push it apart. And this almost wants to go back to normal, except for the tail section,
yeah,
which is kind of wild.
yeah,
Huh.
yeah. Definitely one of my, favorite, and the side patterns on this thing it's just
That's beautiful.
crazy,
Yeah. So Blaze,
crazy.
okay.
All right. Let's
That
see.
first animal still has me floored. That thing was incredibly clean. Holy cats.
Okay, so we're gonna switch gears here because Dwight is in the house,
The Pie Man.
the
He's
Pie
always in the
Man,
house.
and always sending out that great music. And this is coming to Dwight next week.
Oh,
Okay. Does that have pin in it, Mark?
It's Piebald, Calico, Java, Super Orange Dream, and I believe Yellow Belly. But the Java, no pin. No, I don't have
Okay.
any pin in any of my pies.
I was
Yeah.
going to say that's kind of doing a similar thing there, but okay.
Yeah. But the richness of the orange here is crazy.
Yeah, and all that ruffled edge from the yellow belly just tearing the edges up.
Yeah.
That's super pretty. Well, congrats, Dwight. That is a fantastic looking animal right there. I love that.
Yeah, this was a holdback.
Well, he must have sent a hell of a playlist.
all right.
He did. You know what, Dwight's one of the rare human beings on this planet that he's so compassionate and thoughtful, and I couldn't be happier than to see him get a snake like this. So,
Absolutely. Agree 100%.
okay, let's shift gears again, and we mentioned Jag earlier.
Yes.
And this is also going to the states next week. It's a Jag Calico Fire,
Ooh.
Wow.
and Jag really plays with pattern.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Man, that thing is nice. And it kind of put a stiff arm on the Calico a little bit.
Yeah,
I
it
like
did.
that.
Yeah, it
It
did.
kind of said, Calico, you're going to hang down there by the belly a little more, and you're going to just stay
Yeah.
down in your zone.
And there's
It
no
did. It
orange
kept it
dream
way
here,
down there.
like zero orange dream.
Okay.
Dude, that thing is crazy looking.
But the pattern is just absolutely gorgeous.
Just bars on bars. So there was some contention on Jag, too. What was it people were comparing it to, Mark?
Probably
Do you remember?
GHI. That's what it reminds me of when I see just Jag. I always think of, I mean, it doesn't look, you can definitely tell the difference, but it always reminds me of GHI.
Yeah, it doesn't remind me anything of GHI.
No, I
No?
was going to say the exact
Not at all.
opposite.
Not
Oh,
at
really?
all. Yeah.
Uh-uh.
No. I have a snake I'm playing with that popped out of a toffee breeding, and it's unlike anything I've ever seen. You could kind of compare it to the GHI, and I'm calling it the Wave. Again, it's not a proven gene. I'm going to try and reproduce it. She will be bred next year, and I'm just going to breed her to a simple male. to try to see if it's incomplete dominant or dominant. It might be recessive. I don't know, but we'll see. But it's kind of in it. That would be a snake that I would say, yeah, it's kind of GHI-ish.
Okay.
But
Oh.
the last snake you saw was not. So this is
No.
this is a
Mario, I think, was the one I was thinking of. I want to say
okay.
Mario, but
Yeah.
anyways.
So this is a super orange stream Java scrambler, double
Oh,
het lavender pied.
this is why we love Java right here.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my God, that thing is amazing.
Yeah, I
That
love the
contrast
richness that Java brings to all morphs.
and how well it holds against those pattern disruptors.
Yeah.
Like, it really holds its own, you know?
And Java is a pattern gene, but it's a very subtle pattern gene. But it really does disrupt patterns in different combinations, for sure.
It kind of wants to, yeah, it's like it's almost forcing itself to be seen. No matter if it's a reducer or something that gets really busy, Java gets in there and says, I'm going to be visible. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
plays both directions.
Yeah, and this is another one, but that is just a Java OD. There's no
Yeah, dude. Those are so nice. And what a perfect name for those chocolatey
Yeah,
coffee
exactly.
tones that it brings in there, you know?
Well, that's kind of how I came up with the name. I woke up, I made myself a coffee, cup of Java,
Uh-huh.
and the
Right.
rest is history.
I mean, it does. It just has those perfect coffee tones. I love it.
And I do like my coffee. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, have you ever seen a super Java?
No. I didn't know a super form existed. What? Okay.
Piebald super Java. That's it.
Okay. That's extremely cool. How did it get a regular backstripe back in? What in the world?
And
Huh.
I've had super Java, piebald super Javas that are almost black and white, like they look like panda pieds. And it
Okay. Well, that is very different than I would have pictured, but man, is that cool.
Same rich color though.
yeah, the Java color.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, have I got everything shown? I think I've shown you everything that I got here
Yeah.
tonight.
I wasn't certain a super had been into other recessives and things, so that is very cool to see. Is this one of your first produced?
No, I've produced other super Javas.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, if you go onto my website and you go to the Morph page where I list all the different morphs, there'll be a picture of the first super Java that I ever produced.
Okay. We'll definitely take a peek.
Sugar Skull Serpents.
Kevin's an awesome guy, man.
He is. He was at my place last year drinking some bourbon at the outside bar.
Nice.
He was
In the backyard garden.
in the backyard garden, my little oasis. Yeah.
That lucky bastard. Well, we'll have to give him hell about that.
Okay, so that's all the snakes I got to show, folks. The rest of the show is going to be boring.
You know what? It's far from boring. Now is Jamie's turn, and we always do this to Jamie, and we do this to Mitzi too. Mitzi's a participant from the audience that's out there on all the different lives. Until we see the hot seat little emojis pop up, we really don't know it's time for the hot seat yet. But Mark, it's just you and Jamie. She gives some rapid fire questions. It's all about things she's kind of picked up off of your social media through your different things you've put out there, and hopefully touches on some things that are a little more direct to who Mark is, right, and get away from the snake topic a little bit. Kind of like to do that for a moment. So Mitzi's on point. She's got the
Okay.
hot seat emojis in there. I guess it's time, Mark. Jason and I will relax. We'll laugh a little bit, and we'll see you on the other side of this. I think it's going to be just fine. Jamie's
If
going
I
to have fun with this.
survive, if I survive.
If you
If you
survive,
survive,
yeah.
it gets
Yeah.
pretty hot on there.
Okay. All right.
But here we go, Mark. Off to
Okay.
the hot seat we go, man. Appreciate it.
See.
Hello, Mark.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing
You're
well.
you're rubbing your hands together.
I know.
Is that
Warming
okay?
up. No, now this is the time where I get to ask non-reptile related questions and get to know about you. So it's kind of
Sure.
fun.
Okay.
Everybody likes it. All right. Whiskey by a fire or espresso in a cafe?
Oh, geez. Can I have both? I would say whiskey by a fire. Anything by a fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you rather spend an afternoon with a world leader or a legendary artist?
Can it be a music artist? Yeah, definitely a music artist. That'd be
Who would you pick?
David Gilmour.
Okay, very nice, very nice. In your opinion, which says more about a person, the music they love or how they treat wait staff?
How they treat wait staff.
Okay. Classic literature or documentaries?
Documentaries.
They're interesting. Sometimes boring to me. Depends what
Well,
it's
it
about.
depends. Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Yep,
depends.
yep. Would you rather explore ancient ruins or futuristic cities?
Ancient ruins.
Yeah.
I've explored many ancient ruins. Yeah.
Jazz lounge or country bar?
Ooh. I'm gonna go jazz lounge just for
All
the
right.
vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, jazz is the best.
Okay.
If you could instantly master one of these skills, which one would it be? Cooking, language, or playing an instrument?
Oh, playing an
Sounds like
instrument.
you're already a master of cooking, though.
Playing an instrument. That's the one regret I have in life is not learning to play an instrument.
Okay. Yeah. Which one would you pick?
Probably piano.
Yeah. Beautiful. I love the piano.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather road trip across Canada or backpack through Europe?
Oh, backpack through Europe.
Okay.
100%. Yeah.
Would
Have you
ra-
driven across Canada? I have.
No, but it's like so big. Yeah.
It's not fun. Yeah.
Would you rather have front row seats to history or backstage access to the future?
The future, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine dining or street food?
Oh, street food, 100%. Set me down on a little plastic chair and a plastic table with somebody cooking and
Right.
over an open fire and in a walk on the street. I'm there for you.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of
Sitting right-
those little side street.
Yeah, sitting
food
next
things
to
have the
Anthony
best.
Bourdain. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. That's funny.
no kidding.
Which is more attractive, intelligence or curiosity?
Oh, intelligence.
Okay. In your opinion, what is more important in life, discipline or spontaneity?
I like both, but I would say spontaneity because it'll take you places that you normally wouldn't have gone if you're too disciplined.
Right. Very true. Very true. Mountains or oceans?
Mountains.
Okay. What is the most cultured thing you secretly think is overrated?
Cultural thing that I think is overrated.
Yep.
Religion.
Yes. Oh, great answer. Heck yeah. What conversation topic could you talk about for hours?
I could talk about music for hours,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
different genres of music,
Yep.
and different bands. I could also talk about food for hours.
That's funny. If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would it be?
Cartoon. That's a good question. Probably Fred Flintstone, because when he pulled up and that big slab of meat was put down on, yeah, I could
Right?
eat that. I could eat that. I could get into that.
Barefoot too. That's
Yeah,
funny. That's
yeah.
funny.
There's a lot of power in being barefoot.
I
A
agree.
lot of people don't realize. Take your shoes off and walk in some grass. Try
Yeah,
that.
it's very grounding for
Especially at
sure.
night. Especially at night when the stars are out
Yeah.
and make sure you're wearing clothes so the neighbors don't talk. But barefoot is okay.
Absolutely, it is.
Hmm.
Motorcycles or classic cars?
I would say classic cars.
Okay. Do you have a favorite?
Um, as far as the classic, I think the Shelby Mustang, I think, was a game changer. But I'm not a big car guy,
Car
to be
buff.
honest
Okay.
with you. I mean, I like,
Gotcha.
Porsche and whatever. I can admire cars, but
But food.
I'd rather own a horse than a fancy car. I'd rather own a kick-ass
Okay.
horse. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I don't know anything about horses besides they're massive. They're kind of intimidating.
They are massive, but we wouldn't be here without them.
Right? Yep. Yep. Would you rather mentor somebody young or learn from somebody old?
Well, because I'm old, if I had to learn from somebody old, boy, he'd be really old, and you
Let's
know, I I'd have to keep repeating myself. Um,
let's
so
say you're 30.
well, I'm 30. I would definitely want to be mentored by somebody old, and I have
Okay.
been. Yeah.
Very nice. And this question is from our previous No Remorph guest, Joe at Mercy Morphs.
Okay.
If reptiles were to fold, what would your new hobby be?
Um, that's interesting. Probably um, gardening, to the point that I have this vision that I would like to create this massive tasting garden where
Oh,
people could come and actually taste things the way they're supposed to taste.
yeah.
Meaning, you know,
Without all the preservatives and everything.
well, when you buy a hydroponic tomato that looks absolutely perfect, okay, they're like the Kim Kardashian of tomatoes,
Right.
okay. But if you want something real, you got to eat something that was planted in the earth, grown in the sun, watered by the rain, and
Yeah.
picked when it was supposed to be picked. Most tomatoes, see, I could talk about this all night. Most tomatoes are picked green,
Yep.
and they're gassed to make them red.
Oh,
Okay, and the reason they're picked green is when you have the people that are picking them, and we know who they are, and a shout out to them, they can throw them into the baskets, okay, and they don't bruise.
right.
Whereas if you pick them when they're ripe, they will.
Yep.
So they pick them green, they gas them, and they sell them to you, and you go, wow, this tastes just like cardboard. And right? Whereas I have a vegetable garden that I grow, and I put a lot of love into it. And one of my biggest joys is having people come and taste the food and me cooking the food
Yeah.
with the fresh ingredients, and it's mind blowing. Ask um, Fear to Fascination,
Oh,
the
yeah.
two of them. Ask them about what I whipped up for them last year, because I didn't know that they were vegetarian, and I was cooking smash burgers for everybody, and they're like, "Oh, and by the way,
Uh,
we're those people that are vegetarian." I said, "No problem, I got you." And I made them a pasta with fresh cherry tomatoes and basil and chilies, and it
wow.
was really good. It
That
was
sounds
really good.
amazing.
It was a
Yeah.
pleasure to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that would be a fantastic new hobby. So, the last question for you in the hot seat then is what one question would you like me to ask our next No Remorse guest?
That's a good question. Are they a boob guy or an ass guy? That's what I want.
Yeah.
Same question. Same question. No. If you could travel to any country and eat their food, what country would it be?
Okay. Very nice. That was awesome. I did learn some things about you. It was fun. I hope you had fun too.
Oh, I did.
Thank you, everybody that's in the chat. Stick around. We're going to be doing trivia shortly, and then we have a surprise at the end. Thank you. Don't forget to like, share, follow, and subscribe.
Oh
fantastic.
man, we are back, and I'm going to move this real quick. But Mark, something we're going to start tonight, and this is brand new tonight. We haven't done this before, but I'm going to reverse the question you have for the next guest onto you.
Okay.
So, boober ass guy, Mark.
Oh, I'm definitely a boob guy.
Boob guy, okay.
And it's interesting because, talking about sex is very taboo, apparently. I don't think so because everybody likes it.
Pretty much
But-
everyone does it. Yeah.
But, I was born in Australia, and we owned a little convenience store, or I don't even know if we owned it, but we ran it. My dad did. And we lived on top. And it was in Sydney, Australia. And next door was a butcher's shop. And he had 2 teenage daughters. And I was like, 4, 5 years old, hanging outside my shop because I was the guy that wouldn't let kids in unless they had money. They had to show me the money because I didn't want any loitering going on. And I had a lot of authority as a 4-year-old. Anyway, those teenage girls used to come out, and I had a buzz cut, and they used to bend over and they'd tap me on the head and rub my head and say, "You're so cute, Mark." And I had a bird's eye view. And it stuck with me. I swear to God, I'm not,
It's a
and
hell of a way to grow up, Mark. It's a hell of a way to grow up.
It had a lasting impression on me. And so much so, when we came to Canada, on an ocean liner called the SS Canberra. And it was a long voyage. I mean, I think it took 2 months or something like to get over to finally land in Vancouver, because we went to New Zealand, we went to New Guinea, we went to Hawaii, we went to San Francisco, and then on up. And there was this hula dancer on board. My brother reminded me of this story recently. And he said, as a 5-year-old, you hunted her down, and you knocked on her door and said, "Will you come out and play?" And how could you resist? I mean, I had about as much hair as I have now, and she just took me out and in the pool and taught me how to swim, and I knew how to swim. I was just faking it. But again, that cleavage came into play. I'm telling you. And the rest is history. So,
Right.
hey,
so
I'm
what,
not
so
afraid
what
to
Mark's
admit
telling us,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, what Mark's telling us is like he is the originator of Riz. For
Yeah.
all of those people out there that are on that topic. Oh, we have some. Did Mark disconnect? Did we lose him?
No. No, I'm
Did
here.
on my side, but
Okay.
man, I've got some really bad lag going on. Jamie, you too?
People
For
are
sure, we
like,
started
hell
already.
yeah, sex, but ass is not bad too, right? I do like yeah, and I mean, my wife has it all. I'm very lucky, but
What, she's not the hula dancer, is she?
she is not.
Oh, okay.
No, no.
He pulled some Sandlot. He did. Absolutely,
Right.
Justin. He did.
What does that mean? I
It's
pulled
from
some.
that, yeah, from that movie where they're all baseball kids or whatever, and they all had their little attempts at the older girls. You know,
Yeah.
they did their thing to try to get an older girl, but
Well, they say a lot of behavior, bad behavior, stems from trauma. Well, I never really had trauma. I just had really good things happen to me, and it shaped my life. And yeah, I appreciate beautiful things.
yes,
Period.
as we all should, just take a moment to appreciate the beautiful things. Speaking of
Yeah.
which, one's hiding backstage right now trying to come up with a trivia question. So shout
Okay.
out to Jamie. It was a weird little mid-show Riz. I'm terrible at Riz, by the way, guys. So just a heads up. But yeah, it's crazy that some of the questions that come up in that, Mark, they're tailored off of things that we find through your different social media, whether it's through your
Okay.
travel, things like that. But
Hmm.
where would you really tell somebody that they don't get 3 or 4 chances a year to go places? Where have you been in your? I know you've done a ton of traveling.
Hmm.
For someone that could just take their once in a 5 year travel and really get an odd experience or something impactful.
Oh, well, several places. Peru.
Oh,
Doing the trek to Machu Picchu is life
Oh, yeah.
changing.
Oh, yeah.
okay.
And that trip is affordable and it can be done in a week, easy. And you see a lot of stuff. If anybody's interested, contact me. My wife is the most amazing travel consultant.
Oh,
She
nice.
can set
Okay.
you up with personal guides and whatever. We've done it twice and done the trek, and I can say uh, without question that the trek to Machu Picchu changed my life for the better. It was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
I would have to do
Um,
that.
Cambodia,
Okay.
absolutely incredible. I mean, Thailand and Cambodia and Vietnam, they're all kind of tied in, but you would need, probably 2 to 3 weeks to do all three. But if I had to choose one, it would be Siem Reap in Cambodia. Quaint town, uh, walk around the shops, the food, everything is absolutely amazing, and the people are beautiful, meaning, from the heart.
In
Uh,
their soul, yeah, yeah.
well, you look at what happened in Vietnam, but what happened in Cambodia was unbelievable. They wiped out 1/3 of their population, killed them, just killed them,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
their own people did, and because of a crazy dictator,
Right.
Pol Pot, and but yeah, it's a beautiful country. The ruins and the temples and everything there is just beyond anything. And probably Turkey.
Oh,
Tur-
Oh, well.
Turkey's on the bucket list for sure. Turkey is
Turkey
so interesting.
is amazing. Istanbul, walking around Istanbul, the food is incredible. Now, a lot of things have changed over there, like their inflation is out of control. Things have gotten more expensive. That's why we haven't organized a trip there lately. But it was one of the best trips that I've ever done. And again, amazing people, beautiful people. And but you bring up travel, and you can have all the money in the world, but unless you travel, you'll never be rich.
Agree with that
Yeah.
100%.
Okay,
And you can have zero money, and like we did when we were young, Jay and
yeah,
I and our family moved around a ton with. We were not wealthy. We moved
right,
around for necessity, and
yeah,
that experience alone, when we would land somewhere else, kind of set you a little bit apart where you went to, because those people hadn't. They'd been within a 100-mile radius. They had none of the experiences that we had, even in those early growth years to gain all of that different insight about what the different perspectives of people's lives looks like, and to
Yeah.
bring that to a spot.
Oh,
You felt like an outcast, but you were
gives you a
bringing a
lot.
lot there.
But
Gives
you
you a
know,
lot
you
more insight.
well,
does.
yeah, unless you see the rest of the world, you really have no idea. I mean, one criticism I can have of the United States is people don't travel as much as other people in the world travel because you're kind of convinced that if they go, well, I'm going to go to Hawaii. Well, that's the United States. It is different, granted, but unless you get out and you see really foreign countries and you get out of your comfort zone a little bit. And I'm not saying going places where you feel unsafe. I've never felt unsafe. But to experience the culture, to experience the food, to experience how other people dress, and it's really, really special. I mean, there's so many places on the list: Portugal, Italy, Spain. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And what's great is there's all different kinds of foods that you can eat that are fantastic.
Yeah.
100%, 100%. We're definitely going to have to dive into that. Mark, we talked a little bit before the show about what our time frames look like. We're way past that, and we could easily go double that.
Oh, that's
We're
all
going
right.
to do a round 2.
That's
If,
okay.
if you're up
Yeah.
for it, we'll do a
Yeah,
round 2.
I am. Of course I am. Sure.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's the time of the show where we drag Jamie back out. She's got trivia for somebody out there. We give it away every week for the Forge Coin. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that or not, but we do Forge Coin affiliates. It's a group of breeders that all got together. Instead of us giving away a hat or a shirt or something from Morph Forge, it gives the opportunity for that same expenditure to go to like 30, 40 other people. And it just builds a little bigger community. So that's what the trivia is about. We're going to do that tonight. Hopefully, Jamie, you don't have an ABC thing for us tonight. Maybe just an A or B.
I have an AB thing.
Jamie
So-
can never settle on one. It's always pick one. So she leaves it to you, Mark.
Yep.
Most of the time, it's the guest that has to pick. But
I'm more of a C.
Oh man. Then I gotta create a new one. No.
Oh, are we talking trivia or boob size? Sorry. Sorry.
so B, we're going with
B?
the B for
Okay.
boobs.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
just settle on
Okay.
that.
B is, what city did Mark live in during his 5 years in Australia?
Oh man, it's gonna be a tight one. I know people heard this. We're gonna see who was really paying attention, who's got the $20 in their pocket after this little deal, and then we got a little bit of a bonus too. So we'll have you hang around for just a few seconds, folks, after somebody gets the trivia. But
Whoa. They
Sydney,
all
Sydney,
came piling
Sydney.
in at the same time. First one on my end is Jen.
Nice.
Jen at Erie. Okay, that's a new one on the list.
Yep. Congratulations. $20.
Well, Mark, that is correct, right?
Sydney, yes. I was born
Okay,
in
perfect.
Sydney. Yeah.
Got to go right to the source for the correct
Yeah.
answer. But Jen, we'll add you in there. Congrats on the $20. We also had, what is that? We got a banner popping back up. Let's get rid of that because she got it. Sydney. We've also got from the affiliate for the week a giveaway, guys. So if you hung out, you stuck through this, appreciate you guys for hanging in there. It's a little bit odd. We don't ever do this, but we're going to do it tonight. We've got a Mission Morph giveaway, and it's an actual animal. So these are things that are moving in and out of his collection. These are all breeder animals, and you get to pick 1 out of 6 here. You got 5 females or a male to pick from. If you can use these in your project, if these make sense to you, maybe you're not breeding, maybe you just want a pet. Maybe one of these is pretty to you and you'd love to just keep this. They're putting these up there, guys. If you're interested in this and you want one of these 6 animals, you pick one. There's 5 females, 1 male. we'll spin that off really quick. We'll give you a couple of minutes. We'll let Mark tell us why boobs are so much better than ass for a couple of minutes while people
Oh,
get
it's
their
not
picks
better
in
than
there.
butt. It's not better than butt. It's a
Do
complete
they?
package. The question I have is, the one snake was sitting on eggs. You get the
Yeah.
eggs as well?
Yes.
Yes.
That's exactly
No,
what
Acquired
no
delta
eggs. No.
hypoclown, no
I,
egg?
th- I think that's to show that these are all breeders. All of these are
Okay.
proven breeders. They've all done their thing. That girl, some of these may need some time to come back from the season, whatever the case. But
Yeah, well, that's very
all in
generous.
all,
Yeah.
yeah, you're going to be
Cool.
responsible to ship it. And that's it, guys. No cost. You're just going to get an
Do
animal right
they
there.
enter by doing hashtag?
That's what I'm putting up there. We're coming
Oh, okay.
next with this.
Oh,
Snake, please. Hashtag snake, please. In the comments. And one of those 6, you get a choice, guys. Female, male, lot of good options. John, Bridget, Chance over at Mission Morphs were kind enough to put those up tonight. So if one of those is something you can use, we wanted to separate that out so we didn't automatically give it to somebody that doesn't need an additional snake, maybe doesn't fit their project. Hashtag snake please. We're going to start seeing these fill in. The one thing I will say, guys, if you're in a group, singles for the group, if husband, wives, all of that stuff, just get one for your group and we're going to get you in there on the spin. If one of those makes sense for you, absolutely will do. We'll put them up again. Any questions, comments on what we got there? Candino actually looks pretty good to me. I like the candy stuff.
Candino and the Pastel DG. I saw somebody put that. I don't remember who it was. Saw it in the chat there, but I agree. The Candino and the Pastel DG would be 2 that I would pick from.
Yeah, some really decent options there. I mean, if you're just starting out breeding and one of those makes sense for you, the GHI Mojave girls, fantastic. Put that into some DG or hypo stuff. Those are beautiful pet level productions. And Mark said it, we've said it multiple times. That's going to get to be more and more a thing, guys. If you can produce a very pretty snake and you can put it in someone's hands at a reasonable price, that's the goal here. We want that 7% ownership to be 18 to 21% ownership. We don't want to chip that down to 5% ownership by putting everything out of reach, right? Like, the whole goal of this is to see more of these animals in the right hands and more interest. So
Even you look at the killer clown, man, you get lace or jaguar or something like that into there where you get those colors to hang tight while they grow. That's a beautiful
look at
animal,
that
man. They're
killer
so
clown.
bright when they're babies.
And
but
that's
look
the
at it as
thing.
a breeder. It
mean,
looks great.
You look at the Achilles heel of ball pythons has always been they fade with age, get dull with age, whatever. We're trying to come up with, genes that don't do that. And that's where, the scrambler is kind of
100%.
doing that. I mean, I've got some adult animals, 4 or 5 years old, that literally, I mean, you open up their tub and rays of light come beaming out. They're that bright still.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100% agree. 100%. Well, guys, we got the giveaway going. What do we have for a count here? I'm going to take a peek. I have to go into the settings of this thing, I think, to see it. So, we got 13 people in there, getting a nice countdown. Anyone else? We're going to do about another minute and a half. We're going to get anybody in there that's interested. It's straight from Mission Morphs, guys. All you got to do is cover your shipping. It's going to be within a couple dollars of what it is from them to you. They might ask $5 to cover the box. I don't know. I have no idea how that's going to work. It's going to be right from you to Mission, but I'm more than sure it's going to be well worth the effort. So, here we go. Double het clown pie did not prove pied. Was het-to-het pairing. Okay. But came from Steve's Morphs as double het. So there you go. He just didn't get the pied from one of his pairings. Doesn't mean it's not, but that's super upfront with the info.
All
there.
the rest
Appreciate
are proven.
that for sure.
Yeah, John's a straight shooter, man.
Yeah, and he's always gonna, if anything went wrong, he's the first one to stand up and make it right. So no fear of that with Mission Morph's crew. We would never say otherwise, but I think we're in there, guys. We're going to do the giveaway. Give this spin a whirl. Good luck, everybody. Hopefully one of these works for you. You can get straight in touch with John, Bridget, and Chance down there. Get this thing on the way to you. Who do we got? Oh, man, that's a slow roll. Eerie. Okay. John doubled up tonight.
Wow.
All right. Well, that's interesting, but totally cool. She got the trivia and she got the snake. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
congrats.
Good luck.
Yeah,
She had some
fantastic.
lucky horseshoe stuck somewhere.
Hey,
It's been a good couple of weeks. It's been a good couple of weeks for women because a woman won the Kentucky Derby first
yes.
Oh.
female trainer
Oh,
ever to
really?
win the
Saw
Kentucky Derby
Wow.
in 152 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mark, you talked about horses a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Prior in life, I had 14 stabled up. They were all barrel racing animals. They
Okay.
were all quarter horse,
Yeah.
lineal quarter horse stuff.
Yeah.
What is the horse that you're intrigued with? What lineage? What horse really says that's the animal?
Well, I'm a reiner, so
Okay.
I used to show reining. Used to show at the All American Quarter Horse Congress. You would know the Congress.
Yep.
And anything. I never owned a gunner. I had a son of Hollywood Dunnett, who is one of the greatest reining sires ever. But they've become their own breed, very similar to what cutting horses have become. They're all quarter
Absolutely.
horses, but there's a lot of paints and whatever. You can show any breed in reining, but they've really matured into a phenomenal athletic horse. And you want to do yourself a favor, if you like horses even a little bit, Google golden coins,
Okay.
NRBC. Golden coins. He just won NRBC, I think, with a score of 231.5, which means absolutely nothing. It's not even a measurement for a bra, which most people are. But this horse is bionic, and I love reiners. They're just fantastic. And I love a good thoroughbred. I was lucky enough to witness Secretariat run his last race. And see, these are questions you didn't ask. I used to be a racetrack announcer. I was a track announcer for 10 years, called races. And
Wow.
Some sleep, John.
So that's another episode. But yeah, I love horses. They're my Achilles heel. But I don't own any now. I've probably owned 100 in my lifetime, but
Yep.
we have a special bond.
Yeah, horses are extremely cool. The big thing we found really fast was that it was an extremely funneled down network that you could work
Yeah.
within.
Yeah.
Even though we had fantastic animals, they won nationals multiple times in
Yeah.
the stable, and it didn't really matter. That if you weren't in that funnel already
that
with what
clique,
you were
yeah.
bringing to it, it was really an outsider network, and we just stepped away from all that. So,
Well, it's unfortunately the horse industry has become all about the money, and if you want friends in the horse industry, have a lot of money because they will love you, right?
Yeah.
And they got big windows because they like to see who's coming, what kind of car you're driving, what kind of clothes you're wearing, right? Because they want to sell you big money horses, and they are big money horses. I mean, to get a decent reiner right now, you're looking at $150,000 for anything that you want to go out and compete in, and I mean that's priced a lot of people out of the market. The foundation, the ground roots,
yeah.
whatever.
Wow.
But you see horses like in the Kentucky Derby last 2 weeks ago. The horse that finished third by not so much was purchased for $7,500, and somebody put the work in.
Exactly.
The horse that just beat Journalism and Sovereignty, who, both were big 3-year-olds last year. One won the Kentucky Derby, one won, I believe, the Belmont. Was beat out by, I forget the horse's name, Gray. He was a white horse. Sold for $6,500 as a yearling because he was the wrong color. But it's like anything. Persevere.
Yes. Yes, we titled that very specifically
Believe
off your own
and
motto.
persevere. Believe where you're going and get there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Mark, hang out there back there. We're going to let everyone off the hook. We're going to let you off the hook too shortly. But please hang out. We're going to catch you backstage in just a couple.
All right. Sounds good.
Thank you, man.
Mark.
We couldn't say enough good
Appreciate
about
it.
everything you brought to it tonight. It was 100% a pleasure.
It was my
So,
pleasure. I got to say, I was very pleasantly surprised. So, really had a good time.
Awesome.
Good. We'll talk to you in just a sec, Mark.
Yep.
Thanks again. Guys, appreciate everybody that comes out every week. We say it every week, but we got another good show coming up. We're rotating in the No Morph, the Outside the Enclosure. We're cheating a little bit on Outside the Enclosure next week. I say we're cheating. We're kind of cheating, but all right, we're cheating. It's still in the reptile industry. It's in the reptile industry, but we really wanted to cover genetics and how they operate. We wanted to go right to a doctor, a source, somebody that truly understands the mechanisms down to, chromosomes, the loci, all of the different alleles, the thing, and the mechanisms in that and how that works, passing through the second step to heredity, right? You get it from a mom, you get it from a dad, and how does that operation work? We're going to bring diagrams, we're going to bring slideshows, we're going to be really detailed so people get a lot of misconceptions out of their brain. And then we're going to pick his brain on some oddities, right? Things like chimeras, stuff that shouldn't happen when you breed and you get this oddity that shouldn't be there. What is that coming from? And what are we really doing when we're isolating the way something looks in the genetics versus what that brings with it? Internal defects like the spider gene that doesn't have a developed skull, has issues with the internal ear canals and things that cause problems there. So where do those things come from? We're going to get really detailed on it, guys. Dr. Ben Morrill from RGI, he's going to sit down with us. He's got a slideshow prepped. I've been talking to him for the last 4 days about what things we want to cover, what things we want to leave out, and he's excited. I'm excited. He's excited. He's getting all that stuff put together for an actual presentation. We're going to do it the right way on Outside the Enclosure next week, guys. Thank you for hanging out all night. I know it went long. We could do probably 8 episodes with Mark. He's got so many stories and so much background and stuff that's so fun to bring to the table. But appreciate everybody that came and sat with us tonight. So take the last 2 days, guys. You got 2 days to the weekend and get there, I guess is all I can say. That's how I'm going to feel tomorrow at work. I know that. It's just
Win.
get there. That weekend's not far out, right?
Win the battle, right?
Right. Win the battle. Guys, thank you so much. Appreciate everybody. Jen, congrats on the 2 wins, the trivia and the snake. Get a hold of John directly. He'll hook you up with whichever one of those you want to pick. I'm sure he'll give you those options again as to what's available there. But much love, guys. Much appreciation. We'll see you next week. Outside the Enclosure coming back at you. Peace out. I don't know what else I got to say in there. I think everything else is done. But thanks, guys. Have a great night.